Lowdown. It's all brought to you by Pickdawgz.com. Please click the like and subscribe button. That helps us out. And if you click the notification button, it'll let you know anytime one of these gets posted. You got to forgive me because I'm going to be looking around the room. I have one of my dogs that doesn't normally come in this room. He was out by himself, so he wanted to come in the room. And now he's sniffing around, which always worries me because he's smelling my other dog. And who knows? I don't think he's going to pee, but that would piss me off if you did, Ali. Anyway, I want to talk about the concrete inner circle. I know I kind of started off and go over this. This podcast might be a little bit shorter. I got the heating and AC repair guy coming over to do a tune-up. So, and they always give you the window. It's like, hey, I'll be there between noon and 8 p.m. So they give me like a 3-hour window, but they're good. I only have 3 games to talk about. So here's what I want to do. First of all, let me talk about the concrete inner circle because it's been great on there. I talked about 2 days ago how I hammered everything. It was just a really good night where we were plus a ton of units. Last night hit my top 2 plays, and it's funny because as I had the Dodgers under as a big play, I think I had it here. What am I going to think when I can just look up my Telegram channel? So where are we at? Here we go. So on the Telegram channel for the concrete inner circle, I had the Dodgers I had the under as a 7-star in the Dodger game. I had the Heat Hornets over for 5 stars. So even just winning those 2, I was going to win money. But then I hit JMU Texas over. We talked about that, and I missed the under in the Flames and Maple Leafs, and I had the Clippers, and boy, did they wet the bed. Had a great NBA fantasy lineup last night with James Harden and Zubats left. Those 2 guys going up against the Warriors. And the way it worked out is I had money left over because I liked a lot of cheap players. There's a couple guys that are cheaper players that I've just been riding. It sounds kind of creepy. But no, like I've been playing them until people start to jump on. I mean, AJ Mitchell for the Thunder, his number's finally above, I think 5,000 on FanDuel. I don't know what it is on DK, but he's been killing it for the Thunder, filling up the stat sheet. Just go look at it. And then you got some other guys with all the Pacers injuries and looking for cheapies. And I loved that Heat game last night, so I had a bunch of pieces of it. I was a little upset that Norman Powell didn't play, and then that opened up some more value, but I had Jaime Jaquez, and he killed it. But anyway, all right, I'm rambling. Getting back to the concrete inner circle, text the words inner circle to that number that you see there. If you like making some big bets, and I have a max bet for Thursday night in the NFL game, and honestly, I have 2 max bet prop plays that I'm going to give out for free here. I absolutely love both of these prop plays, and I think I already put up my best bet, which is Thursday night, and I added in 4 prop plays. I had a 5th one, but I didn't throw it in there because it's Derrick Henry for 2 touchdowns. He's plus 240. I just think it's a great spot to, throw a couple of shekels on that, see if you can't double up there. I just think it's a really good proposition with Lamar coming back that Derrick Henry's still going to get a strong workload, and I think he breaks one on the Dolphins. Remember, I was laddering Derrick Henry last week with Lamar, and then he obviously gets ruled out. He still didn't hit his prop. He only had 71 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns. And I think laddering his prop on Thursday night's a great idea as well. But we're going to get to that in a second. And what I'm going to do as well with that, guys, is on Mondays when the podcast gets posted, I take all the top guys, the 2 quarterbacks in a game, top 2 running backs, and all the best pass catchers, and I just put down what my algorithm's spitting out for them, what they're projecting. So you can use those, match them up, see if you like it. You can try a few out. I've had a ton of success with it. I love doing it. But that being said, I want you guys to check out the Inner Circle because we've been killing it over there. And, if you're a big bettor, like I said, I've got some max bet. You're going to see when I like something 10-star. And so far, outside of the first night I did this where I did it totally wrong, I was like 10-star, 7-star, and I was like, this is what we're doing, your unit selection. So, and I missed on, I think I had Notre Dame the very first night that we did the concrete inner circle, and they wet the bed. What else? But with it, I like making big bets, and I'm going to have max bets, and it's easy enough for me to tell you something's my favorite play of the day, but my favorite play of the day could be a couple of stars, like 4-star play. Okay, it's my favorite play on the day. What happens if I'm on a day where I like 2 games way more than any other games and I have them highly rated? Because when I like something, I go after it and I'm going to hammer it. So, and Thursday night, there are 3 bets that I absolutely love, including the game. 4 prop plays with my best bet that's over there on the premium side. But I'm hoping some of you guys will check out the Inner Circle because, like I said, we've been doing a really good job with it, or at least pat myself on the back, which I'm not comfortable with. But things have been good. I've talked about how things have gone in baseball season. I don't think there's anybody in the country that's been hotter than me in Major League Baseball playoffs. I mean, go back and look, and that includes all the free prop plays I gave out. I gave out a ton, and just in the World Series alone, I think I'm 17-3 in props that I gave out, or 17-4. And it's just insane. And on the football side, I've been killing it too. So I really love these props for tomorrow, or for today, the Ravens game. All right, as far as like what I was on Wednesday, I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit. I love the Dodgers. I'm glad for their sake. I'm not glad for my betting pocket, but that we had who was it? The report yesterday was that Kevin Gossman was going to start Game 5 on short rest, and that's why I said I don't know what they're doing, whether they win or lose. Maybe if they lost and they were down 3-1, then they throw Kevin Gossman a short rest, but it never works out. Short rest never works out except for CeCe Sabathia when he was on the Brewers. He made that hell of a run. I think he pitched 3 games in a 5-game series. But if you're watching it, they usually go 4 innings, 5 innings tops if they are pitching okay. I think my dog's back there cleaning himself. That's just really nice, buddy. You guys can get a glimpse of that. And what was the old joke? Guy walks by, he sees a dog over there just cleaning himself furiously, and he looks at his buddy and says, "I wish I could do that." And he says, "Maybe you should pet him first." Anyway, all right, let's get back to the task at hand. I don't know, you guys, if you listen to my radio show, you can listen on the Odyssey app. If you listen to it, I do jokes at the end of the show every day, usually like some bad dad jokes, but I try to mix in some dirty ones as well. Like, what's the difference between a lentil and a chickpea? I've never had a lentil in my face. Pause, let it sink in. Oh, they don't just hit you. And yeah, it's disgusting. Anyway, so just getting back to it, it's been great in the baseball playoffs, man. I'm hitting well over 70%. Like I said, I've been killing on the prop plays. NFL, a couple of pissers there, man, with the weekend. Like, I thought this weekend had a chance to be epic. I start off winning my first 4 NFL games and then lose the next 3, and then I lost Monday night, but I went 3-1 in props on Monday night. So overall, this has been a really good week. It's been a good week as far as my winning percentage. I picked the wrong games to put together in my triple plays at times. So some of you guys have gotten a lot of free prop wins, and then you get your credit back to use however you feel fit. But yeah, I love tonight's game. So if you guys want to get that, if you get one game from me this weekend, make it Thursday Night Football, because I do think we have a serious edge. Now I'm going to run through these games, 2 college games, and then 1 NFL game, and then I'm going to go over what the numbers are. And as I said, I'll come back in the morning and I'll post it so you guys don't have to sit there and try to listen to me and write it down real quick because I know I go fast. So I'll post them in the morning so you guys can see where the numbers are. And I'll try to do that for the rest of the year during football season because unlike my weather algorithm, I can run my football algorithm before. It doesn't have to be the day of, obviously. All right, here's what we're going to do. Let's start it off with college football. Tulane versus Texas San Antonio. So Tulane is 6-1. Texas San Antonio is 3-4. This is one of those spots that I circle. I talk about island games all the time. You guys know that. This is their Super Bowl, if you will, for Texas San Antonio, being on national TV and facing a good team who's 6-1. I think these guys get up for this game. I don't think Texas San Antonio necessarily wins. I think this is a field goal game either way. But I think you see the best effort from them that you could possibly have. They are, again, getting 4.5. It was 5.5. I'm seeing a lot of public money come in on Tulane. That's obvious. They're 6-1 and they're on the road facing an inferior opponent, and the line's going in the wrong direction. I think UTSA is the right side, guys. So that's where I'm going to be. More than likely, that'll be another freemium, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on that side of it. The game, the next game I'm going to talk about, I've gone back and forth, and I'm going to give you a play, but right now I'm not betting this game, so full disclosure, I only have 3 games to talk about. So Marshall is minus 5.5 at Coastal Carolina. It was kind of funny because these games were minus 5.5 and the totals were 55.5 when I started doing my research. And now Marshall's still 5.5, 55.5, but Tulane dropped a point. Del Rio Wilson, the hyphenated last name for Marshall, their quarterback. He leads them obviously in passing, but he also leads them in rushing. Dual threat, can kind of do a little bit of everything. Conventional wisdom here tells me to take Marshall. When you start looking at what Coastal Carolina's done this year, it looks like a Pop Warner team that they play everyone. And maybe the quarterback's getting hurt. I don't know, but like they've already played 4 quarterbacks this year. They've had, I think, 18 different guys run a football and 20 different guys catch a pass. You figure out what they're doing. It looks like I said, a Pop Warner team, making sure everybody gets their 10 plays. I'm gonna lean towards the over here. I would kind of lean towards Marshall, but I'm gonna dive more in this game and see if I can't find an edge. I just don't feel like we have one right now. I think Marshall's clearly the better team. I mean, Coastal Carolina, I don't know why the average is that, but I looked at their quarterback, and you know how you look at leaders if you're scrolling through it. It's one of the first things that pops up on a lot of the, if you just click on a game. I know I use like Yahoo Sportacular to for the game updates and stuff like that. And you go in there, and then they have their leaders, passing, rushing, receiving, and so on. And I looked over, and Marshall's leading quarterback was averaging 74.5 pass yards a game. And I'm going, or not Marshall, I'm sorry, Coastal Carolina. And I'm going, what? 74.5? Does he play for Navy? Like, what the hell is that? And then you go back and you start looking at it, and there must have been, like, he has 3 touchdowns and 3 picks on the season. I don't know if he got in for a small period of time, got hurt in the game, didn't have a great game, whatever, and then all of a sudden you look at his numbers, you're like, those numbers suck. But I guess if you get into a game, it's going to affect your average. So I don't think they're terrible. I mean, they've been okay, as far as Coastal Carolina is. But I would lean towards the over here. I think Marshall's going to push this pace, and I think they're going to score some points and force Coastal Carolina to push as well. So that would be my lean in this matchup. Now let's talk Ravens and Dolphins. So here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm just going to go over what the props are saying here. So for Lamar, they're expecting him to throw for 216 yards. I think that's very low, but we've seen games where the Ravens just run all over everybody and Lamar doesn't have big passing days. Haven't seen them so often in the past 2 years, but okay, if that's something you want to go ahead and take a look at. 38 rush yards for him. It matters how much he's going to run. That's the one thing we don't know. Is he 100%? Is he going to let that hamstring heal up and not take off? It's in his nature to run at times, like when he's under duress, whether that's extending a play. But if you run man against him and you don't have a spy, and I think most teams will have a spy now, he is going to murder you with his feet. You just can't. Send everybody deep, and here goes Lamar. Good luck, linebackers. Good luck, safeties. But yeah, 38 rush yards is what he's supposed to get. And I said 1.71 touchdowns to understand passing. Tua, 230 yards, 232 yards passing, 1.5 TDs. It wasn't anything for his rush yards because nothing there, and it seemed like a silly bet to me. Devin Achane, 52 rushing yards, projected for 5.7 receptions for 47 yards. I like his under rushing, and I like his over receiving. I'll explain that in a little bit. Henry, 95 yards and a touchdown. His prop is 89 yards. I'm just going to tell you right now, that's a max play for me, Henry over his rushing yards. And I know I might sound like a broken record. The Miami Dolphins can't stop the run. I don't care what they did in Atlanta last week. They definitely can't stop this run. And by the way, the running game that the Ravens are going to be bringing now with Pat Ricard, Lamar, and Derrick Henry all back, and mixing in Keaton Mitchell, who's so explosive and fast. I mean, they all deserve a slap in the face for not having him active for the first 5 games because they wanted to keep their kick returner active. Like Keaton Mitchell can't do the same damn thing that Kid Ali does. So he's interesting. And I think you could look at his over props because on a short week, I expect him to get a couple more touches, especially since last week was really kind of his first game of getting, a decent amount of carries. Well, I say decent. He got a couple of touches. So Henry, 95 yards, and he averages a touchdown. That's why I think the 2 touchdown is the best because if you're going to bet him to score a touchdown, he's like minus 240. To score 2, he's plus 240. So I would sprinkle a little something on that. Mark Andrews, 3 catches, 33 yards. Zay Flowers, 5.6 catches, 74 yards. Jalen Waddle, 5 catches for 70 yards. Malik Washington, 4.3 catches for 43 yards. And the last one I want to talk about, Isaiah Likely, 2 catches for 20 yards. Hammer Derrick Henry's over. If you guys trust me on anything, I am going to max bet it. Derrick Henry's rushing yards over, and the other one is Isaiah Likely over his yards. Isaiah Likely is one of Lamar's favorite targets when Lamar's in there. They have not played together this year. I think Likely has more penalties than he has receptions since he's come back. That's not going to be the case here, and they are going to get him in space. They don't need to have these max protect situations with the tight end staying in the block. They're gonna spread you out and let Lamar, Derrick Henry, and Pat Ricard kind of do their thing in the backfield. And I feel like when it comes down to it, Isaiah likely can catch a pass right off the line and take it to the house. He's one of the more athletic tight ends in the league. Now, could his foot injury, he's healing up, could that slow him down? There was some Liz Frank talk, which if you don't know this, Liz Frank, she's a bitch. It's one of the worst foot injuries you can have. Turf toe and Liz Frank can be career ending. Turf toe, just painful. So looking at this, I'm going to max bet likely over yards. I'm going to max bet Derrick Henry over yards. I love both of those plays. I do think the Ravens win this game. I think they win convincingly, but it's not my favorite play in the game. Some of the other things I would tell you as I was looking at it, and the reason why I like Devin Achan's receptions, I just think game theory and the flow is going to show you that the Ravens are going to be better against the run. They've gotten healthier there. They have some better D linemen. Their middle linebackers back who's cleaning up everything in Roquan Smith. This is one of those games where I think it's just the right side to bet the Ravens, but I like something else so much more, so that's why I'm on that. And if you guys want to check that out over the premium side, feel free. But those prop plays I love. And I think Devin Achan gets sprinkled underneath. Like I want people to understand what I'm saying from his style of play. He's Christian McCaffrey light. No, I'm not saying he's the guy that's going to punch in 2 touchdowns every single week and get you 100 yards here or there. But with how he does in the passing game and the targets he gets, like 5 to 6 receptions almost every game, I think he's more of a weapon out of the backfield than actually handing him the ball in the matchup tonight. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Definitely check out all the premium plays over there at Pickdawgz. I've got my MLB World Series plays. That's up, depending on how things go. I'll have that play up probably for Friday when they get back in action. But with the NFL game, and there's some other games that I'm going to put up today, like moving forward, starting with my college football and pro game. So again, hope you win some cash, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll be back in the morning to post the numbers in the bottom so you don't have to write all that crap down. Appreciate you guys.